Here we have a new 2026 Ford F-250. Now this one comes in the King Ranch trim level, agate black paint, and then we have the Java leather interior. For the powertrain, we get a 6.7 liter high output Power Stroke diesel V8, and that's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. As we come around to the front end here, we do get the LED headlamps along with the LED daytime running lights and the LED fog lights. And the lights aren't dancing, that's just how my camera's picking them up. But I love the King Ranch, just having the two-tone paint. The wheels you get, especially the interior, which I'll show you in a minute. Down here, these are gonna be 20-inch aluminum wheels. Now we do get passive keyless entry on the front. And then to the door panel here, we have our power door lock controls, memory seat functions. We have our power sliding mirrors, blind spot monitors are there. We can power fold them as well, hitting that button. Then we have our rear window lockout, power mirror controls. Then we have one touch up and down windows for the front, regular power windows on the back. Love the trim though. We get that B&O sound system. Headlamp controls are there. We do get power adjustable pedals. Electronic parking brake, hood release, power tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our power driver's seat with 4-way power lumbar support, and we do get massage function as well. I like the side pockets here, those are pretty big. But a huge thanks to Ford, Lincoln, and Franklin for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So as I sit behind myself, great space here, absolutely phenomenal. And then even with the panoramic roof here, headroom's pretty good. I can tell there's a difference between this and the regular one. Without the roof, you have a bit more headroom with that. But I mean, again, sitting straight up, my head's not touching the roof line at all. And there's a view of the front from back here. We do get a power sliding rear window. Middle seat folds down, bottle holders are there. And then we do have the seat back pockets on both sides. 2-stage heated outboard seats, 2 USB-C charge ports, rear AC vents are there. And then we do get a 120 volt, 20 amp household plug in there, which is nice. And then you can hang your uniform here if you need to. Now before we make our way to the back, child lock, just put a key in there, you can turn it. And then here, you can lift up, you have a little bit of storage underneath there. And there is your diesel cap there. And then if you need to put your def in, I like having the step on the side. But around to the back end, gonna start with the tailgate here. Of course, we can push this in, slide this out. You kind of have a step ladder. But you have a 120 volt, two 120 volts over here again, 20 amps max. Spray on bed liner. There's a spare exhaust. Rear parking sensors are integrated on the back. And then to the rear passenger side, you can fold this up and then you can actually, I believe, lock this in by putting the key in there, and then that way it won't move. And then your lower anchors for the car seats there. You can pull this and then you have access to the back if you want to strap something in here. And then to the front passenger seat, again, power with 4-way power lumbar and massage here. Lockable glove compartment. And then we do have a top pocket here. I love that wood grain though. It looks nice, feels nice. Now I'm going to show you the window sticker. Y'all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look at anything. A little bit of rain there. I tried to wipe it off, but... And there's your sticker price, $99,195. Now at Ford, Lincoln, or Franklin, this does qualify for the lifetime powertrain warranty. So that's always nice to have on a vehicle. But she's doing that loud idle. That's a 6.7 high output turbo diesel. And before we hop in, I'm just gonna show off the blinkers. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. It is heated, feels really nice on a cold day like today. There's the horn. Now where I set the massage seat, it's showing you all the function there. But we do get AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth, and then on top of that, we do have our wireless CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. There's the nav there. And then in your settings, you can go in here, change your vehicle settings there if you want to. And then if you go to your general settings, you can change your language and then your units of measurement right in there. Each one you can set individually for the temperature, miles, or the tire pressure units. You can change that. And then your features here, this is where you can control your driver assistance. If you want to turn the lane keeping system on, off, whatever, you can do that. And then your cruise control, you can set between adaptive, normal. You can make sure lane centering's on there. So pretty cool. You also have the Pro Power on board you can check out as well. So you can see the power draw based on what you have plugged in the front, in the back, and all of that. Now for the backup camera, you do get the guidelines that follow you as you turn the steering wheel. You also have the top-down view. So it really helps with parking something of this size. And then you also have a front camera as well, but that'll mostly come on when you're getting close to something in front of you. And you can also turn on the auto brake, and then the parking sensors, you can toggle those too. But up here, exhaust brake, you can toggle that, and then the downhill brake control as well. And then your Pro trailer, if you want to fool with that, you can do that, cut it on or off. But down here, volume controls, dual zone automatic climate controls, the heated steering wheel buttons there, 3-stage heated cooled seats. You can set all your temperature stuff here. And then you can use this to change the fan direction. You got a 12 volt here. And then you have a 3-prong 120 there. Trailer brake controller. Go through your drive modes here, full 4-wheel drive, your rear differential lock, and then you can see your drive modes here. You have normal, slippery, and then you also have your eco, off-road, and all of that. Now wireless charging pads here, USB-C, USB-A duos there. You can stow all of that. Nice look here. And then your bottle holders, storage bottle holders. You can actually use these as bottle holders too if you want to. And you can kind of slide them over, which I like that because it really does turn this into like a four bottle holder setup, if you will. Really like the trim on the top here. Center console cubby space, removable tray, and then 2 USB-C charge ports down there, which is nice. And then up here, sunglasses holder, power sliding rear window, sunroof controls, lights. And I'm going to show you how this slides back. So that's one touch there. Hit it a second time, it'll go almost behind the glass, the fixed glass in the second row, but I mean, that's a pretty big opening. And then back here, a power sliding rear window and a look at the back seat. Garage door transmitter, vanity mirror, and then back up front here, we do have automatic wipers, and then the fluid, push that in there, high beams, and then the shifter on this side, so park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then you do have that manual mode, and you can toggle what gear you're in right here in that manual mode. Cruise controls here, you can turn that on or off. Gap adjust for the adaptive cruise, turn the lane keeping system on or off, set the speed, cancel, resume. Volume here, voice recognition, track list or radio station presets, Bluetooth button, and then you can hit this menu button and go through the gauges, the heads-up display, all of that can be toggled there. And then your tire pressure monitors, you can see that, so on and so forth. Now, speaking of the heads-up display, there's a look at that. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 F-250 King Ranch out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this F-250 King Ranch, tow figures, you're gonna get 23,000 pounds with this setup, gooseneck, and then 22,000 conventionally, and then you're right around 3,900 pounds payload. So a pretty capable truck in terms of what you can do with it. But what I like about this is it's a full-size heavy-duty truck, but it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel as heavy in this setup. It's a King Ranch, so the steering wheel's leather wrapped, it's heated. I have a massage seat going. It just doesn't feel like a work truck, and that makes a huge difference depending on who you are. You might want to pay that extra amount of money to get a truck that feels this nice if you don't want to necessarily get a heavy-duty truck with vinyl floors and vinyl seats, because this does make the ride a bit more comfortable, just having all these extra features. And you know, these have a tendency, and they do it on purpose, when you first start them up and they're in that kind of idle mode, they're very loud. But when you actually get to driving them, especially after they've warmed up, they're one of the more quiet turbo diesels on the market, I think. Now, very relaxing drive here. Again, you know, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so probably in this area, the least crowded time to be out on the streets, unless you're out here maybe like 11 o'clock at night. But it's very relaxing to drive this thing. Again, the heated steering wheel when it's 45 degrees outside is very helpful. The heated seat when it's 45 degrees is also very helpful. And it's just a very comfortable truck. So if you are having to work and it's freezing outside, especially if you're going to be outside, again, it's nice to have these luxury features that really make all the difference. And this thing pulls pretty well. I'm in the eco mode now, so the fact that I am in the eco mode is, you know, it's impressive how much this puts out, I think, in that setup here. I'm gonna toggle it up to the normal mode and see how it does. Now, like with most heavy duty trucks, they ride pretty well, and then as you get on rougher terrain, it just gets a bit choppy. And you know, this is no different, but it's still, again, comfortable because you have the heated seat, the heated steering wheel, the massage seat, and it just feels a bit more plush than a typical heavy duty truck. But I do want to give one more huge thanks to Ford Lincoln of Franklin for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. It's funny, I'm driving this F-250 and now I'm seeing F-250s everywhere. But I also like the different drive modes you have, especially with this FX4 off-road package. You have that off-road mode, the eco mode, the normal mode. There's just you know, a lot of ways to configure how the truck handles, how it drives. Now we're gonna give it a pull getting on the interstate. Not gonna floor it, but gonna give it a little something. Here we go. Man, this thing moves, gosh. Now what's crazy is this thing actually, it pulls so weird. It doesn't even get that high up in the RPMs like the Silverado does, but this just, you can feel the turbo doing this thing. It's just pulling, man, it's crazy. I'm gonna set up the adaptive cruise, the lane centering and all that. Now I love having the lane centering technology on these Fords. They're some of the best, I think, on the market. I like it better than the full self-driving. I feel like it does just enough. Now it does always want you to keep your hands on the wheel. I feel like that, you know, this system asks you a bit too much compared to others, but not really a huge problem for me. But you get a solid pickup here in terms of a heavy duty truck. It's quick. This one in particular is luxurious. Again, you're getting 23,000 pounds gooseneck, 22,000 conventionally, 3,918 pounds for the payload. It's capable, it really is. But then again, you also have that luxury aspect as well with the heated seats, the heated steering wheel, the panoramic roof on this one. There's just so much that you get. And I think a pretty solid truck, if you're comparing this to the Ram, the Silverado, the Sierra, is still a good option there. So with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Ford F-250 King Ranch.